Yeah, like, that's sick. Do that. Oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. I'm fairly confident that this is about to be the second nicest Uber I've ever been in. I'm not gonna lie, I've been cooking that little joke up for about 45 minutes. It landed, mate. Big one. Thank you, everyone. Cheers. Thanks for coming. Thank you. A round of applause as well. Get a load of that, Dad. So this right here is a Minolta Dynax 7 and is without question my favourite film camera of all time. It is massively overpowered, totally underrated, and I might actually cry if this video does really well because the prices on these have always been really, really fair. I may live to regret making this video. So if you follow the channel for a minute, then you will have definitely seen some photos that I've taken with this camera. I'll throw some up on screen now, you might recognize some of them, but it goes without saying, very, very big fan of this camera. Now, a lot of the photos that you're gonna see in this video are from a little adventure that I went on in the mountains with some pals. One of the guys that you're gonna see in this video just managed to buy himself a Porsche, so how do you feel? Pretty good. Very exciting time for him, and he's a good dude, so this was a bloody lovely day out. Naturally, the first camera that I reach for in these scenarios is Old Faithful, the Minolta, and so I thought it'd be cool to talk about this camera, show some photos from this little trip and some footage. I'm gonna go for high speed shutter drag. So high speed in terms of burst, shutter drag in terms of I'm gonna miss is what that means. This is just gonna cost me lots of money. Burst mode. 2 photos. Whilst I tell you why this is my favourite camera of all time. No regrets, mother... Oh, hello. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I don't really care about specs. I'm not going to get massively bogged down into the specs of this camera. As a non-breastfed adult, I'm not going to obsess over such minor things as, you know, what the camera can and can't do. This isn't really one of those channels where we deep dive into specs and stuff. That is what Google is for. But of course, I am going to talk about some of the features of this camera that are super, super useful. Now, one of the big ones is this screen on the back of the camera. That's right, this is a film camera and there's a screen on the back. What a world. What a world. With a display light for shooting in the dark, no less. The screen shows your focus point, camera mode, metering mode, all that good shit that you want to see when you're taking photographs. And here's the really, really cool thing. It also saves all the settings from your last 18 rolls of film. I think it's 18. I'm gonna say 18. So if I'm looking through the negatives and I'm like, ooh baby, that is a banger, and I can scroll through the settings for each roll on this camera and I can match up the settings with that frame on the stripper negative, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Such a game changer. Now this is a Minolta AF mount camera, which quite conveniently is also the exact same as the Sony A mount for digital, mainly on account of Sony buying Minolta back in the day. There are so many sick lenses for this camera, too many to go over in one video, to be honest. I have a short attention span and an even shorter P. But a few of my favourites are the Sigma 35mm f2.8 prime lens, the 70-210 Beacam lens, that's an f4 all the way through, and there's even some gnarly fisheye options, which are a must in my opinion. I am going to make a video all about the different Minolta AF mount lenses that I really like personally. I'm going to make that video in the future. There's just too many to list, and I found a really easy way to use these Minolta AF mount lenses on my digital Sony mirrorless cameras with the EF mount that I use for work, and that is just a lovely added bonus. Now, one of the really cool things about this camera is that it is capable of insanely high shutter speeds. Very handy when it's full sun out and the only roll of colour film you have left is Portrait 800. The only colour film I've got left is Portrait 800. And honestly, a shutter speed of 8,000 is way more useful than you probably think it would be. It also has a gnarly pop-up flash, which again, much more useful in day-to-day use than you would probably think. And this thing is also built like a tank. It is super sturdy. Anyone familiar with the channel or just who has ever seen me work will know that I do not baby my gear at all. Once it goes in the kit bag, it is a free-for-all. It is just, the gloves come off, no kid gloves. Yeah, it's worth trying it. Really? You never know. Could be shit. I've used this camera for so much work. I've travelled all over the UK with it, taken it abroad a bunch of times as well. Absolutely fine, had no issues with it whatsoever. I also spilt maple sauce all over it recently at a wedding, because when you're offered a banana and maple crepe, you don't say no, do you? I spilt it all over like the outside of the lens mount, where do you know where the gap is in between the lens and the body? It was all over, all up in that little gap, and none of it made it into the camera body. Obviously, it is not all sunshine and rainbows. There's no such thing as the perfect camera, and whilst the autofocus is awesome most of the time, it does have a bit of a tendency to back focus and miss sometimes, especially with certain lenses. But you have to remember that this is old technology, and it's basically just the trade-off of shooting with cool old gear, is that there are technological limitations. Is technological a word? I don't think it is. Okay, I've said it now, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But all I do is I just grab some manual focus stuff on each roll, just so I've got a bit of a buffer in case anything has gone wrong. Which is probably good practice anyway if you're shooting film on a camera with autofocus. Look at you taking a proper photo. He brought the proper photographer. But when I open the car door, I'm just hit with pop punk. This is how cars should be. All right, little telephoto boy on the go. That's a nice walk you've got going.
Thank you. I've got the ninja walk.
Mate, I can tell you do this professionally. That looks sick. Oh, oh yes, let's. I want like a proper wanky hipster portrait of Lewis on his car.
Just literally just...
Yeah, that's sick. Do that. Oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. Can you sit back on the headlight again, please? And then just pull out one testicle. Both of you gratuitous. I am going to talk about this camera loads more moving forward on the channel, of course, because it is my favourite film camera. It's an absolute workhorse, and it's probably the camera I rely on the most. For example, I just got back from a really gnarly trip to a haunted house attraction that I used to go to as a kid, and the lovely folk at the attraction were kind enough to let me do multiple runs through this haunted house attraction with a GoPro strapped to my chest, snapping film photos. Very, very cool. So I'm really excited to get stuck in with that video. I'll be working on it next week. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, stick around, say hello in the comments, like this video, all that good stuff. So yeah, that is me for another video. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're good. I hope your dog is good. As always, please do give your dog a little scratch behind the ears from me. Someone did leave a comment on a video recently pointing out that they do not own a dog, so instead they gave their wife a scratch behind the ears, and now she is pregnant. So congratulations to you guys, I guess. Maybe this week you can go for twins. Anyway, come say hello in the comments. I'm enjoying all the chit chat these days. It's really cool to hear your opinion on the video, on the stuff that I'm talking about in the video, on the camera gear, all that sort of stuff. I really love just chatting. I'm a chatty man. Fit check, baby. Oh, we've got a gnarly one. We have a gnarly one. It is a Meatloaf, Everything Louder Than Everything Else tour shirt from the early 90s. If there was like one artist I could go back in time and see live in their absolute prime, Meatloaf, every time. Hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Peace.